give an importance to it. So that's why I thought, just to share, and then, we think about it. There's nothing wrong in, like, knowing something and then just talking about it to make sure that, you don't forget, or you see how important it is. And what I've chosen to talk about is about hydration. And then just put it across, or like, for somebody to at least give us a little explanation of what we understand by what hydration is. So I'll just put it across. Anybody at all can just, just give a very simple explanation. It doesn't have to be very complicated. Or what is important for us to drink? Let me put it in a layman's term, simple.
Flash out. Sorry? To flash out things that are not needed in the body. Good.
To aid digestion.
Great. And sorry?
To conquer thirst.
Yes. Okay.
So like we know it, we know the importance of it, but sometimes we still have to just, like I said, go into it. And when I was just doing that, so I thought, let me not just simply talk about hydration, but also when we come to our spiritual life as well, the talk is on hydration, but it's just this, yesterday, even this morning, I'm like thinking, let's include what the Bible say about hydration. I've not got it there, but I'll put it. So what I got here is like water is vital for our physical bodies, but in scriptures it often symbolizes spiritual, nutritional, and refreshment. So although we think, just, we're drinking, when you go through the Bible, and that's when I was researching, I saw that there's a lot of scriptures and things that talks about, making sure we are hydrated. There is a physical aspect of hydration as well as like our spiritual aspect. We have to hydrate ourselves. And I wrote as water is synonymous with life itself. Without water, we cannot survive physically. Similarly, without the living water offered by Christ, we cannot thrive spiritually. He nourishes us and empowers us to live our life fully through Him. And the scripture emphasizes this theme by illustrating the life-giving properties of water. So let's just remember to draw from the sources of the life that only Jesus provides, so we can nourish our spirit each day. So he's telling us that water is very vital for our body, like I mentioned, and then our spiritual aspect as well. So it's not just like we say, oh, let's drink water, and it may look simple like drinking water, but one can live without food for days and hours and months, but you cannot live without water. If you don't drink, the consequences of your vital organs are going to damage, and then the consequences is dying. So in my field of life, if somebody is not eating, is not drinking, we can say, they are nearing the end of life. And that's most of the time, that's what we tend. And that's why I thought, let's talk about it and see how the importance of drinking is. Because I know we drink, but I don't think, how many of us have our water with us? Almost, most of us don't have it, but it's something that we should be. And it's not something that you just say, let me gulp water, like if it's a 2 gallon, drink it at a go, and then you're off. So there are some Bible verses that I will just mention, and then I'll go straight to the topic. So if we look at John chapter 6, verse 35, I can read it through quickly. So that says, then Jesus declared, I am the bread of life. Whosoever comes to me will never go hungry, and whoever believes in me will never be thirsty. So you see in the theme that everything runs through, like hydrating, thirsting. For I will pour water on the thirsty land and streams on the dry ground. I will pour out my spirit on your offspring and my blessings on your descendants, which is in Isaiah 44:3. And in John 4:10, it said, Jesus answered her, if you knew the gift of God and who it is that asks you for a drink, you would have asked him and he would have given you living water. So you see, even Jesus went to the well, to get water to quench his thirst. And again, he talked about, the living water. And then John chapter 2:7 says, Jesus saith unto them, fill the water pot with water, and they filled them up to the brim. So you see water everywhere. So living water is for refreshment. So when we think about water, we often associate it with refreshing and rejuvenating properties. And this concept is rooted deeply in scriptures. It is essential for our spiritual health to continually seek and immerse ourselves in the living water of Christ. He refreshes our weary souls and provides us with hope in difficult times. Let's remember to drink deeply from this well of refreshment, allowing his spirit to renew us day by day. So aside as going to talk about physical drinking and the importance of it, again, we have to feel alive with, the living word. So the living word of God is like, water that refreshes our soul. Much as we are refreshing our spiritual being as well have to be refreshed. Right, so I would come to the topic on the hydration. Alright, so the first one saying that staying hydrated is easy when we know, like when you know it. Much as it's easy saying hydrated, some people find it very difficult. People even say, I don't like drinking water. And they say, oh, I like drinking Coke, I like drinking, you have to put something in it and whatnot. But you know what? It is better to have, drink, water. You can drink tea, coffee and whatnot, but that doesn't equate to just drinking the actual water. So I did say, what is hydration? And I'd say the process of making your body absorb water or other liquids. And that's, I got it from the Cambridge Dictionary. And then, or getting fluid in your body. In the next step, I said, water makes up thirds of our body, and it's vital we drink enough fluid to maintain a healthy balance. Many people get dehydrated by not drinking enough water or by losing fluid and not replacing them. And why do we need fluids? So water in our body is essential for many important processes to take place. It makes up, I've already mentioned it, so we can just go through that quickly. So it's vital we drink enough fluid to maintain a healthy balance. I think I've just repeated that. Water levels in the body changes as we age, with newborns having a higher body fluid level compared to adults. And elderly people have lower fluid levels still, but hydration is really important at all ages. So no matter how we say that, even newborns have a higher body fluids, everybody, it's important for everybody to be hydrated. And then I just said the importance of hydration from our blood system, carrying essential, like Evelyn said, we need it. Others said we need it to digest food. So everything that we do, it comprises water. So we need the water to carry essential glucose in our body. We need it for oxygen going around our body. We need it for, our cells. We need it for the kidney to get rid of waste product from our body which is no longer needed. And it's also vital to allow other things to occur. It also lubricates our joints and our eyes and helps our digestive system function and keep our skin healthy. So you can see if you're not drinking, you become very hydrated and your skin becomes so dry, and what we call tissue paper skin. So we have terms for the skin, if you're not drinking well. Hydration is the term used when the body lacks enough water to work properly. If hydration is allowed to continue, it can lead to serious health problems, including heart condition. So learn about the science of hydration, the benefits of staying hydrated, and top tips for drinking the recommended 6 to 8 glasses of fluid a day. Although it says 6 to 8, you have to look at how your own condition is. If you have health problem that you cannot drink a certain amount, you still have to just judge it and then be able to hydrate yourself well. I'll skip a few because I was in a rush doing it, so I didn't. So who is at risk? And I've mentioned anyone can become dehydrated at but some groups are particularly at risk. This includes babies and infants. They have a low body weight and are sensitive to even small amount of fluid loss. Older people, they may be less aware that they are becoming dehydrated and need to keep drinking fluids. People with a long-term health condition such as diabetes or alcoholism. I know we all don't drink. Athletics, they can lose a large amount of body fluids through sweat when exercising for long periods. And then good hydration is important for all age groups. Is something for everyone to consider. So it's not just for young people. And then as I said, 2% loss of fluid, you will feel thirsty and lethargic. 5% loss of water, your heartbeat will increase. And then at 7% loss of fluid, you will be dizzy. Blurred vision, blood pressure will drop. So most often, in the hospital, if you're taking someone's blood pressure and you see that it's low, they say, oh, drink a lot of water because there isn't enough, water in the body to help the oxygen to go around, to help oxygenate. That's why you feel all this dizzy and all of that. So what are the signs? Signs of dehydration are visible in your urine. Dark and strong smelly urine is a clear sign that you need more fluids. So I have colors of the urine here. So if you see that your urine is clear, or if your urine falls within the 1 to 3, then you have a healthy pee or urine. So if you are within this range 4 to 8, then you have to be drinking more. If you fall into it, then you know that you are really dehydrated. And some people have to be rushed to hospital to get, hydrated. Sorry?
What does that mean?
It's the color, if your urine color. So if it is white, which one? Healthy. There's. Oh yeah. So that number one is. Let me just go back. Yeah.
But my GP says 1 is not ideal, but it means you're having too much water and you might be losing nutrients from your body.
Yeah, you're having too much water, but at least you are not dehydrated.
Yeah, but surely, if something is good for you, if you say something is healthy, it means it is good. If it is too much, then it's not healthy.
When you're looking at it there, when you pee in a bowl, maybe in a picture that you see, but if you fall within, in some of it, I might look for a different color for you. It's not going to be white when you pee in the toilet. You can't see like a urine, but at least it's not going to be very white like that. Sorry? Yeah, it's not going to be the same as the color of the bowl. When you pee, at least you see that there's urine there. this looks like, if I have a different picture, it's a picture that I show you. But if your urine is clear like that, then at least.
Stay off water.
Sorry?
You need to stay off water. That's his question.
If it's not,
Yeah, it helped, and that's why I mentioned there that at least you know that you are overhydrated or dehydrated. Yeah.
So how do you know you're overhydrated? Because if it's clear, then it's healthy. At what point do you know you're overhydrated?
So I'm coming into that. So you don't have to really drink so much water. Do you understand? Because that's why I said some people may have an issue where they cannot drink too much, so they are fluid overload. So with that, you cannot drink that excess because you've already got that. So you have to kind of cut down. And that's why sometimes when you're in the hospital, we cut down to say you can drink maybe a liter of water a day, 1.5 liter a day, or 2 liters a day. Yeah. So it's not like though water is good for you to drink, if you are over excess, you have to keep drinking now.
just another question. Because if you're using fluid and water, almost interchangeably. I want to ask, if I'm taking fluid that is colored, is it likely to indicate that I need to drink more when I actually have enough fluid? So for example, depending on some, if you take some, like for example, beetroot for example, colored. When you take beetroot and you go to the toilet,
You will color
you will
it.
color it.
Yeah.
So the question is, if you are taking more fluid that is not water, how do you know whether you need to drink more? You can actually have enough, but the substance you've taken, if it has colored your urine.
So, when you eat food or when you take certain medication, that would color your urine.
Yeah.
We're talking in terms of in the normal terms, if you are not taking all of this and you're not, at least when you take medication, you know that when I take this medication, my urine becomes either orange or it can be, yes, yeah. But we're talking in a normal sense, if you're not on all those things, you're not taking those urine, this is how your urine color should be. Because when you take certain medication, your urine the water can change, the color can change, and even the smell can change. So this is in terms of like when you are, and then you'll be guided by your doctor as well as to, how you should go about it. Let me just come here. Does it answer you? Well, if it doesn't, just... So causes of dehydration, I've just mentioned, not drinking enough fluid, failure to consume adequate, so I'm using the word adequate, water throughout the day can lead to dehydration, and then having diarrhea as well, and vomiting. So if you having excess, opening your bowels like loose, and then you are drinking a lot, and that's what we call, if somebody get what we call neurovirus, or you get diarrhea and vomiting, then this condition can cause you losing water. And then, so when I'm using water and fluids, I'm using what we would normally use in the hospital to say, fluid, but it's water. And excessive sweating, so we mentioned earlier on, like, exercising, doing physical activities, or in hot weathers, you can end up losing water through your sweat. And then higher body temperature, so if you become very unwell, and then you go what we call pyrexia, or just be sweating a lot, then that is what can lead to dehydration. And increased urination, so if you're urinating a lot, another form of excreting water, so this condition can also lead to you losing water. And if you're doing having a lot of increase in urination, condition can be likely that you have uncontrolled diabetes, and it can lead to excess, urination and resulting in fluid loss. So if you're there, you can see that the frequency of your urination changes and you're urinating a lot more than necessary, then it's something to look at to ensure that you haven't got diabetes or any condition that is leading to that. So these factors can vary in severity and impact different individuals based on their health and activity levels. And I'll put another picture there, so it's just the same thing in a different form. Okay. And so I said loss of excess fluid due to condition like I've mentioned that already. I don't feel, you don't feel much thirsty, and then their inability to drink water due to conditions of like your mouth. If your mouth is sore, or you're not able to drink a lot, then that can cause hydration. Another cause as well, it says extreme heat stress can also cause it. The fever is when I said you become very hot and then you start getting what we call rigor, so you'll be shaking. And that's it. Does tea or coffee hydrate you? Tea and coffee are popular drinks that contains caffeine. So although a lot of caffeine can trigger the body to make more, I'll use the word pee or urine than normal, which can lead to dehydration. A moderate intake, maybe they're saying, that's what they're saying, 4 to 5 cups of tea or a coffee a day should be fine for most people. So they're not saying don't drink it, but don't have excess of it. If so, you can enjoy caffeinated drinks. They will count as fluids that help you to stay hydrated. Just remember to follow the NHS recommendation to have them in moderation. In some cases, such as during pregnancy or if you have certain health conditions, the NHS advice is limiting your caffeine intake even more. If in doubt, speak to your health care team, so you can speak to your GP about that. Should have put the recommendation there, but I did not. So, thirsty, dry mouth, or other indications as well is when you're feeling thirsty, that means, you are dehydrated, or when your mouth is very dry, you are, and then if you are not passing urine enough, then you are, aside if maybe you have enough urine in there and you're not bringing it, you're not able to pass it, that means you are what we call, when I remember, I'll tell you. You have itchy skin, so when your skin is, dry, it's very itchy, and then you get itchy head as well, so you itch all over, and then rapid heart rates. So these are some of the signs that will tell you that you are dehydrated. And next, so I did say you can do it on yourself. A pinch test to see if you are hydrated or not. So if you pinch your skin and then it falls back, it pulls back, then that means you are. So you can actually do a self-test. See, I'm hydrated. So you just pinch your skin and then let go. So it's saying, let me read it here because it's saying that lightly pinch some skin on the back of your hand and pull it up about 1 centimeter before letting it go. It says if not, so if you are not dehydrated, the skin will spring back into its regular position almost immediately. If it takes a few seconds to settle down, you may be dehydrated. So everybody is almost hydrated. That's good. Yeah. I mean, because when when you're drinking, your body becomes, fresh, yeah. But if you're not and you're dehydrated, then your skin becomes so dry and then it will be flaky and all of that. So if you cannot feel like your mouth is dry, you're feeling thirsty, the one other form is just to do that. Enter your, what's the name? So Here it says the body contains about 70%. Some other will give you about 60% or so. Some of the fruits that you can have is, beetroot, strawberry, tomato, and we've got oranges, watermelon, cucumber. Cucumber contains a lot of water. And it says blood is about 90% of water, and then bones are about 22% of water. So we do need a lot of water in our body. So I said, good hydration is critical to health and keep our bodies performing at their best. Not only in terms of the process, not only in terms of all the processes that go on, but also keeping our level of concentration up. The best advice is to keep a bottle of water close by to top up, fluid levels regularly and keep thirst away. So just skip to the next one here. Then I've just written here, so some recommendations that we have to look at. So not drinking enough, drinking too much at once, or overdoing it on caffeine can all leave your body short on fluid. So if you're not drinking enough and then you are drinking too much, or you're having too much caffeine, because some people don't like water and they just want to be drinking cups of tea, or maybe like energy drinks to keep them hydrated. It's one of the things that can keep you dehydrated. And then we all know it's important to drink plenty of water, but what if you are gulping the stuff down and still experiencing dehydration symptoms on a regular basis? So that this is to say that somebody said, we need to drink maybe a liter of water a day, and then they'll stand there and be able to gulp it down. Remember, as the days go by, you're passing urine, you're kind of like losing some fluid, so that doesn't help. It could be a sign that something else is going on, and the factors that I have here is, it's important to consider not only, and they're saying that, there's a percentage that a woman should have at least 2 liters, and then a man like 3, but then you don't look at what they're talking in terms of percentage of what a woman should take or a man should take. Just make sure you look at how active you are, how often, you're sweating, and then the food choice you're eating. There are certain foods that when you eat, you drink, you need a lot of water to help it digest. When I eat anything like corn, I drink a lot of water. So if you're eating such food and you're not drinking a lot, then, you'll be dehydrated and end up getting constipation and all of that. I said for some people, the sensation of thirst diminishes with age. Lack of thirst is also a common issue for young children. If you rarely feel thirsty, consume at least the recommended daily amount of water a day, even if you don't feel like you need to. So here they are saying even if you don't feel, just make an effort to drink some water. So my next slide says water is important, but it's not enough. Water has hydrogen and oxygen, but if it doesn't have the electrolytes your body needs, electrolyte regulates the fluid level in your cells, which means they are key to maintaining proper hydration. So they also help transport blood flow along with nerve, muscles, and brain functions. You can get many electrolytes like sodium, potassium, calcium, and magnesium chloride from the food you eat. In a pinch, try sports drink and rehydration solution instead. So if you need all of that, that's where you can get some from. If you chug a gallon of water each morning, you may be doing more harm than good. When you overload your system with water, it gets rid of the excess when you pee. that wouldn't be a problem. That would be a problem, except that it takes precious electrolytes along from the ride. So instead, aim to stay hydrated throughout the day instead of trying to get it out of the way at once. Okay. So when you sweat, you lose fluids and electrolytes. Unless you replenish what you've lost, this can lead to dehydration. And remember that water, whilst essential, isn't enough to keep you hydrated when you've been sweating up a storm. So you also need to top up your electrolytes, and it's one of the most reasons orange slices are a good-to-go sports snack for little legends and pro athletes alike. And you are drinking too much coffee or soda, which the Americans will say. While it's tempting to count your morning cups of tea as a glass of water, there is water in it after all. That's not how hydration works. Several popular drinks have a diuretic effect. That means they can make you pass urine more, which can lead to dehydration. And coffee is one of them. The Americans will say soda, or maybe our canned drinks, and then alcohol and energy drinks. So although they might hydrate, they have certain things in there that would make you pass urine a lot, which is a diuretic. So if we are battling like a bug, like I mentioned earlier, you got flu, food poisoning, you become very ill, then you end up vomiting and then sweating and having diarrhea, and that's when you lose water and you become dehydrated. If you are under the weather, which makes the point of sipping water even very hard, then you fall difficulty of becoming dehydrated. And when they made some suggestion, if you have like chicken, and we Africans, we know we can have some pepper soup to help us. So chicken broth with a bit of salt in there can also help you hydrate. And I remember when we were home, we call it ORS, isn't it? You have some to help you hydrate, replenish, the electrolytes that you're losing. If you're taking some medications as well, some medication can cause dehydrations, like if you're on diuretics, which is like furosemide and those kind of medications that would make you lose water, then you need to drink a bit more. And I know sometimes it's a pain for some people to kind of drink because they say, I'm passing urine too much, I'm going to the toilet too much, and they don't drink. That also have consequences if you don't drink and then become dehydrated. Fluid loss can also be an unfortunate side effect of medicines, like if you're on antacids, laxative. So some laxative, you need to drink more water to help with the action. So if you're taking it and you're not drinking, that's not going to help. And then blood pressure medications as well. And I say if dehydration is listed as a side effect of a medicine that you take, it's important to talk to your health provider as well. And if you have a heart failure or issues with fluid retention, then it's, so what I wanted to remember when I said if you're not able to pass urine is urinary retention. So you can have the fluid retention, like, you see your feet swallowing, and, your body parts everywhere is full of, what we call edematous, or it's swollen, then that means you have a heart condition, and you talk to your doctors about making a plan to keep you hydrated. So that's when I mentioned the recommended amount of water that you can drink a day if you have such condition. So, and so then here I've written, and which is not on my slide, I said the importance of hydration. Hydration is something we have all experienced physically in our spiritual lives. We can also experience periods of spiritual drought. So during these times, we may feel distant from God or empty inside. And it's vital that we remember that Jesus, the source of living water, is always available to quench our thirst. We can always turn to Him to rejuvenate us through prayer and scriptures, and we can reconnect with our Savior and refresh our soul. So let us step away from distractions and allow God to replenish our spirit. So I've done 2 in 1, actually, making aware, letting us know that if we become dehydrated, these are all the problems that we face, becoming thirsty, and then, our kidneys not functioning properly to excrete any waste that is in our body. The same way that if we are spiritually dry, we become a bit down, we become very empty, and it's saying that we should try and keep, reconnected with Jesus, who is the living water, to refreshing our, spirit and soul, so that we can step away from distraction. So I'm done with my talk. It was short, probably been all over the shop, but I hope this is so is there anything, somebody can contribute? I'm sure there are a lot of health people here who can contribute and say more.
Before people start, No, I want to add to what so that we don't lose sight of that. What she talked about is hydration and then dehydration. So it's not, water. So that I want us to understand that. That's why she was using water and then the fluids. So I remember a few years ago, there was an evidence when people started saying, we should be drinking water, we should be doing this. So NHS England and the Department of Health, they come together and they said, drink whatever that is going to keep you hydrated. So there are a lot of things, and then she did talk about so powerful. I think we're talking about people being hydrated. Yeah. So you did talk about electrolyte. We need it, for our system, because our brain, we need to be spark this. A lot of neurons flowing. So with that, electrolyte is very, very important. But if you drink water too much, it's going to, chase out the electrolyte. And then you'll be in trouble. We don't want to be in trouble in Jesus' name. So we have to, to keep it moderate. Even the Bible talks about too much of things. It's not good for you. So there are a lot of things you need to drink because a lot of people, they like Coke. They want to drink it because of you can drink water and all that. Some people like milk. If you drink milk contains something like hydrogen, calcium, because the way of it that you need to do in moderation because it has fat as well, so that you're able to use it too much. So you're not going to be drinking that anymore. So at least it has a certain, so you need to be careful how you drink it. And also she talked about the sport drinks. So sport drinks is good because it has a carbohydrate and then it's got electrolytes in it as well, which is going to help the body. But you need to drink it in moderation so that you don't get water. So those are the things I want you to hide. It's very important that we drink. It's very important that we drink in moderation. Us going. Amen.
Yeah,
Thank you, Sister Anita, for your help. For the wonderful demonstration. So, fluids generally, because it's medical term, because they are concept in shower. We should call it a water chart or anything that can make fluids. And there are some fluids that when we take, they are good for the body, but we need to study them. Because there are some foods that when you take it, they just make it to be like anything. For example, if you are taking some juice, they are very good for the body because they contain some vitamin C and other things to make the system work. This juice contains normally sweet and sweet. Sweetness can act as a diuretic. So, and also if you are anything diuretic, it make you pee as well. If you are taking fizzy drink, they are not good for the bladder. because they irritate the inner wall of the bladder. What do I mean by drinks? Then go, anything physical that will go like this and start get gas. So they are fizzy drinks, they are not good for the bladder because they irritate the inner wall of the bladder. You need to toilet for the bladder side. So we normally recommend that maybe if you drink tea, because tea contains caffeine, also you will go or you take decaffeinated tea as well. But actually where we are not we come for everywhere you go, the toilet is not far. There are people that have immune restriction. For example, those who have got renal kidney disease and renal restriction. And there are some people that are on dialysis, they are not allowed to drink alcohol. And people that have heart failure, they have certain amount of fluid that they consume. But generally, how you can calculate what you can drink a day, you are under 60, you can multiply your weight by 35. But if you are over 60, you can multiply your weight by 30. That one will give you what you can drink in a day. So there's a lot of research on this, and you can't go wrong with that. So if you are 65 or 60, multiplied by 30, that one will give you how much of you and you grow it. Nothing of magic system.
So if you multiply your weight is in kilograms.
Yeah.
We are talking about fluid, it's in volume. Yeah? No, it's not. So when you multiply your weight, sorry, my weight is 60.
Yes.
I multiply by 30. I get kilograms. That weight by. But what about identity is
Sorry.
No, so let's say, so 1 point, let's say a liter and a half, So I've just done my own calculation now, okay? I've done my calculation now and I've got 1,005. So that means I'll have to drink a liter and a half, but at least 2, because they give us females, maybe 2 liters, men this. So when you do that, at least even if you're not drinking at all, you've got something. You are.
I'm saying that is the weight, the units are relevant. If you actually multiply kilogram by
The formula to arrive. She's going to send us the formula.
So it's a liter that you have to be drinking, what I did here was just the age and the 30, and then I got there.
Because if you add age and weight, it's going to give you weight.
No, it's 30. Your age and 30. Yeah, so it's kind of like a formula. So it's either you say 1.5 liter or 1,500 liters. Yeah. But I think in order not to set confusion, that's what they probably do.
We have said something on the
It's correct. What you say is correct. What you said is correct. It's only that you need to take the kilograms or whatever. So
it's already said to be classified.
That's right. Okay. So questions, please.
Anybody else? Children, you have questions as well?
Children should ask questions because there's a thing to think you can do as well, depending on the
every day.
Yeah, you have to drink water. they're not stopping you from drinking tea or coffee because there's water in there, but it's what is contained in there that will make you lose the water. That's why they're saying it's better not to depend on that alone, but at least drink as well. Yeah. So, yes.
My question is that what effect does the weather have on the rate at which you
Oh, so if it's hot, you're actually going to sweat. So if you sweat, that's when you're, because we don't only lose water by passing urine, you lose water in your skin as well. So as your skin is like you're losing it, then you are dehydrating as well.
But what about during the winter? What happens during the winter?
What happens?
How does the body react?
You do sweat as well. Maybe you don't see yourself. You don't see it coming out a lot. Yeah, but you lose water in a way.
Because the reason why I asked that question is that during winter, when the weather, especially when I feel cold, I feel that my body is forced to work extra to generate heat, and I used to let more.
Yeah. It's just that because it's the weather you're not seeing it, so but you still lose water. Sister Naisa.
Yeah. So I have a question like usually say I know it's a myth like drinking water and using it. They normally say like if you drink a lot of water you use it. Is there any actually scientific or medical thing related to that about drinking water and using it?
So I think somebody can answer that. I haven't gone into scientific, but
Yeah, a lot of people, they say that, I don't know where they're going to get that from, but what the water does is that, because a lot of people will eat the food we stay in the body, but with water, it makes the reaction so very quick. So that's what it is. Because I've had some people saying, oh, if you keep on drinking, how can you be drinking water?
So when you're drinking a lot, they said if you don't want to eat too much, what you can do is start drinking water. So it fills you. Sometimes you'll be doing it as well, you want to exercise as well. So the main importance is water is vital. So you have to be drinking a lot of water, and by drinking a lot, you'll not be feeling hungry to eat too much. And so that is why they say if you're doing it, losing weight, you drink a lot of water. And then you exercise as well, so by so doing, you are going to be losing water, and then the food that you are using as well, you burn that energy. So yeah, but in order, that is why I want to use the scripture and whatnot. In everything we do, you need to wash, you need to cook, you have to take care of its water. And that's why I said you can live. And we've had some people that come to the end of their life, and then people will come and say, they are still here, they can't eat, but at least they can have sips and can be there for like a long time. They are not eating, but you'll be wondering why are they not eating? It's because they have fluids. So then the body will be using it. And I've seen people who've been there for like weeks and they become as crisp. Their skin has become dried up because they've used all of it. They'll be passing urine, but eventually you see no urine at all. And then, so water is very important. That's why they say you can live on water, but not on food. Yeah. Mama.
Yeah, my question is, what can you say about having the intermittent fasting, or maybe you are fasting and they said drinking water is not good while you are fasting? What can you say about that?
I haven't gone into that, so you mean not drinking during intermittent fasting?
You know, the fasting, you just keep going.
Not drinking water.
Fasting without drinking water.
Now, when you are fasting, you shouldn't drink water.
Who said
I really haven't gone into the intermittent bit, but I guess,
fasting is good.
yeah, it's good, at least give the body rest to it, but as to why they say don't drink it at all, unless I look into that.
Yeah, with the little knowledge me I know about it, after the first, second day of, if you are going to do like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, or 8 days fasting or longer than fasting, after the first 2 days, you have to start drinking water. Or after the first day, the second day, you need to start drinking water. You may even continue like that for maybe for 1, 2, 3 weeks. But after the second day, you need to start drinking. Otherwise, it will be suicidal.
No. Let me say something.
Are you supposed to be a spiritual or medical science?
To be honest, it's different the way we fast. You're talking about dry fast. Some people,
No food, no food at all.
Yeah, it's what we've done. We've done it by the grace of God. Many, uncountable. So, yeah, the more I've done is about, 15.
15 days.
Yes, without eating. Without doing anything.
No eating on
Yes.
No water.
But it's not
Yeah.
good. But our GO always say that after 3 days,
drink water.
have a seat if you want to. And I've seen some people that have done 7 and
So-
are doing it over and over. But you know yourself. That's what we are coming out of, what he's teaching now. So what he's teaching? He's teaching physiology. Yeah.
But even though that is still, you still need the water, isn't it? And what I'll say is, with fasting as well, when you get to a certain age, I'll say drink water. I do my fast now, I drink water. Even I might not be drinking a lot, but at least safe to keep me, do you understand? Because your vital organs need it. You'll be doing that and then you end up creating problems for yourself, and I don't think that is wise.
From what you say, I used to do 3, ask my wife, 3 this a week. And the same week I do it 2 times. That's 3 days without eating in a week. So that was then, but now I cannot do it.
Exactly, yeah. So,
Is it eating or drinking?
Dr. Alex.
It's not eating, not drinking.
For how long?
Yeah? I do 2 in a week. Okay, because at that time there was 20 days. That's what we do. Not 2 days. I do 3 days times 2 in a
You
week.
say it's not too bad, Pastor.
Okay, our time is
No
5.
water, no.
Yes, but 3 days or 3 days.
No, that is different now.
All right, so
Our time is
How can you stand there and tell people that not drinking water for 2 days when your organs will shut down?
For how long? I said 2 days. I said you want to do a long fast. After the first day, the second day you need to start drinking water. That's what I said. That's what I said.
all right, so Dr. Alex.
yes, I got 1 minute.
Okay, can Dr. Alex.
Yeah, I want to say that there is something we call metabolic water. Metabolic water is defined as the water generally the breakdown of fat, proteins, and carbohydrates in the carboxylic acid cycle and glycolysis, contributing to the daily water needs in the body. In my little biochemistry knowledge, we were told that you will be losing metabolic water after 72 hours. After 72 hours. And when you are losing that, it will affect your life. I've also listened to Apostle Osai Arume, who talk about this. He's a chemist, also at the same time, a pastor, who has spoken about fasting. And he's a powerful person when it comes to fasting as well and praying. And they talk about the fact that when you are fasting, when it comes to 2-3 days, and after 2-3 days, start drinking water. Even some people, you will fast more if you sip something, even in a day, after the first day, or during the first day. So it's better that we fast with people want to just join the fast. Like Pastor Taiwo was saying, that understand your body first. But apart from that, after 2-3 days, please use water. God will help us. Amen.
Okay, so, yes.
I'm thinking, I don't think you kind of answer Auntie's question properly.
Auntie,
Auntie, I think it's mixed. She talked about intermittent fasting, and she talked about the other fasting. So the other fasting is like the spiritual one, which people are kind of down with it. But what she said about intermittent fasting, they never told you not to drink water for intermittent fasting. They actually advise you to drink water. You can drink coffee, black coffee. There are lists of things you need to drink when you are doing intermittent fasting because they're all 0 calories. So you can do that. So we don't get that.
okay, no, because I mentioned that I don't know about intermittent fasting, so unless I look about that.
Intermittent fasting is just that, giving the time. That one, that kind of fasting.
Yeah.
Not like the one that we normally do.
Our body itself needs time to kind of like rest and break down certain things. So, I mean, it's good to do a fast. But we're talking in terms of water being vital, because if you're not drinking, that causes a lot of damage and the repercussion is too much. So you don't want to. That's why it's good to do that.